In a world dominated by capitalism, couples, families, and mortgages, one man stands alone, defending the... Okay, well, that's not entirely accurate. I'm not standing, I'm actually sitting. And I'm not alone, but I am certainly unique. And that's because I do something that's very different, which most people don't really know about, and that is voiceovers. I'm a professional voice artist. And people ask, how did I get into it? Well, it was completely by accident, which is, funnily enough, how most voiceovers actually end up getting into the business. I suspect that had something to do with the fact that I was ADD as a child and a teenager, which leads me on to a very interesting point. Story time. So what many people don't realize about ADD kids is that not only do we have attention deficit, but because of the fact that we don't always pay attention to the things that are going on around us because we so hyper-focus on one thing and then get distracted by another thing, it kind of leads to the fact that we don't pick up on social cues, on personal signals or personal space, things like that. And as a result, we kind of find ourselves a little socially inept. And I was very fortunate in my early 20s when I got into a group of friends who really kind of wrapped me up in cotton wool, threw me in a padded cell and said, have at it, we'll let you know when you cross the line. And I'm like, there's a line? And that was very fortunate for me because it allowed me to realize that I had certain shortcomings, which I didn't know I had. And because of this realization, I started to learn about psychology and sociology. And I started people watching. And in conversations where I was a part of, I would watch and observe to see how people reacted to certain things. And as a result, I learned. And with my studies building on top of that, it meant that I was able to become a lot more intuitive when it came to reading people, a lot more so than people who just gathered it naturally or osmosed the ability as they were growing up as kids and teenagers. And that ability to read people has helped me very much in my life as an actor, as an MC, as a singer on stage, and learning how to read an audience. And it's also meant that I've got a very wide range of interests because of the fact that now I've done a lot of reading. And as a kid, I was a voracious reader. But now I'm interested in things like food and nature, music, sociology, politics, spirituality, whiskey and wine, theater, sexuality, reading, travel. All of these things interest me tremendously. So as a voiceover artist, I'm going to be using my voice on this channel to share some of my passions with you and some of the things that I find fascinating, whether it's just insights or a piece of poetry or a reading that I've come across. But I'm hoping that during this process that I will also happen to ignite some of your passions on the journey.